Right now on KCCI 8 News Close-Up, Hillary Clinton candid with Iowa voters. This morning, exclusive access with the Democratic presidential candidate. Clinton sits down with 7 women to talk about Iowa, the issues, and her campaign.
We can't give up on each other. We can't walk away from helping our most vulnerable. And I don't understand what's happening in our country, that some people are so mean-spirited about others. I don't get it.
Before that event, Trump sat down exclusively with KCCI's Todd Nagel, where he had a chance to interview Trump on his private jet at the airport. Todd?
Stacey, we were the only local media invited to talk with Trump aboard his $100 million 757. He wants Iowa voters to know that he wants to win the caucuses Monday, and he doesn't need another national debate to do it. Time is running out for Donald Trump at his first real test as a presidential candidate, the Iowa caucuses. So what better way to get the message out than to invite reporters on his private jet for some Q&A? A hot topic, his refusal to debate on Fox News here in Des Moines.
I was not treated properly by Fox. I was treated very badly by Fox. And rather than having somebody, I think this is so important because it relates to the country, the way we're pushed around all the time. Rather than have somebody that just accepts it, walks onto the stage and debates, which, you know, for me hasn't been very difficult, I said, you can't treat people like that. You just can't do it.
Well, you've heard the criticism that this is your one last chance for a nationwide audience and for Iowans to see you with your competitors, and that's not going to happen now. Is that presidential when you don't do that?
I think so, because Chuck Loudner and some of the folks that work for me, Sam, you know, Sam Clovis, and a lot of them, they said, this showed that you're independent. It showed that you're tougher. It showed that you'll protect yourself and you'll protect your country when something is unjust. Whereas these other guys, they're politicians. They just show up and they debate for an hour and they leave.
This is a KCCI 8 News special. Commitment 2016. Iowa Caucuses Live. From Iowa's news leader.
Good evening and welcome to caucus coverage right now on KCCI.
Yes, welcome. After months and months of campaigning, it all comes down to tonight. And KCCI has you covered. Our crews are out all across central Iowa. We'll also be live inside 2 Iowa caucus locations, one for the Republicans and, of course, one for the Democrats.
Also joining us all night long is KCCI political analyst Dennis Goldford. Dennis, thank you so much, as always, for being with us.
Always fun.
So what are your thoughts as the night gets going?
Exhibition season is over. This is opening day for the real presidential race.
Take a look at this hallway. We're live here, and take a look at exactly what is happening. This is registration process going on in the hallway of Merrill Middle School, one of 1,681 caucus sites across the state of Iowa. Come in a little bit closer and take a look. Take a look at these are folks registering, signing up for the caucuses.
Kim St. Onge is live with the Republican caucus tonight at the Ankeny Baptist Church. Kim?
Take a look. It is standing room only. Let me tell you, this room is packed. So there are about 350 chairs for the people here at Ankeny Baptist Church, but obviously there are dozens and dozens of people who are now standing on the perimeter of this sanctuary. And there's also, if you can swing around here, there's also people who are on the stage. They've been seating people there because they've simply run out of room.
So let's take a listen and see what's going on here in the room.
Everybody, can I have your attention, please? Thank you. We have for our count for Sanders 246, and we have for Clinton 508. That's after 2 counts.
Certainly a lot of voters here in his conservative wheelhouse, people who he thought would vote for him from the beginning, and they came out obviously. Now, there it is. We're celebrating here. Ted Cruz wins. CNN is calling it, saying Ted Cruz has won. Congratulations. What is this moment like for you? You've been here for a long time.
It's exhilarating. We've spent so much time here. We're going to be sad to leave, but on to New Hampshire we go, and hopefully to the nomination. We're going to work hard for it.
We finished second, and I want to tell you something. I'm just honored. I'm really honored. And I want to congratulate Ted, and I want to congratulate all of the incredible candidates, including Mike Huckabee, who's become a really good friend of mine. So congratulations to everybody. Congratulations.
Tonight,
thanks to the incredible hard work of everyone gathered here, of courageous conservatives across this state, we together earned the votes of 48,608 Iowans.
What a great campaign. This has been an incredible honor to campaign across Iowa with so many of you to make the case for the kind of future we want for the Democratic Party and for the United States of America.
The candidates discussed a range of issues from transgender restrooms to minimum wage, but campaign finance reform started the most heated exchange.
I think it's very convenient that Mike says he wants to take all the money out of campaigns because he has contributed over $600,000 of his own money to the campaign. And I don't think that congressional seats should be bought like that either in the future.
Jim, you and I have agreed not to attack each other, but that sounded like an attack to me. I'll fully admit I'm contributing to my own campaign because I'm proud of my history and all the support I have. Sir, you fully understand that some of that money comes from a firm. You're actually getting more money from Wall Street than I am.
Maurer called that claim silly. Desmond Adams has made repopulating rural Iowa a focus of his campaign.
If we take Des Moines, Iowa, Omaha, Nebraska, and Kansas City, Missouri, I call that the triangle of opportunity. Inside of that triangle sits the 3rd Congressional District. If we were to have a high-speed, broadband, rural internet access at a reasonable cost, folks could do what? They could become remote employees to one of these major hubs.
The Democratic candidates didn't hold back when it came to expressing their disappointment in Senator Grassley, specifically in how he handled the Supreme Court vacancy.
The decision by Senator Grassley not to hold a hearing is unprecedented. It is wrong.
Charles Grassley should get fired for not following the rules, the Constitution. He's just not doing it.
Chuck Grassley is really crippling the court by not holding the hearings.
Tom Fagan says Grassley is not doing his job in Washington, and his lack of accomplishments prove it.
When you look at that list of bills that he sponsored, only 9 of them were signed by the president.
The candidates all agreed they want to raise the national minimum wage to $15 an hour. They also talked about climate change and renewable fuels, but they spent a lot of energy on one major topic: water quality.
We have a serious water quality problem in Iowa. It is at a crisis point, and it has to be addressed. My belief is that a lawsuit is not the answer.
I propose that we tie clean water to the federal crop insurance program. That's heavily subsidized. Farmers need it. They want it.
One of the things that distinguishes me from everybody else up here is I don't believe incremental change from state government is going to fix the problem.
The roar of bikes filled the air as Iowans gathered for Senator Joni Ernst's Roast and Ride. The hour-long ride ended at the fairgrounds, met with a GOP rally full of state leaders stumping for Trump.
We need new leadership and a Republican administration that will protect our nation against our enemies. Donald Trump is that man.
Now is the time to stand up and make our voices heard.
Once Trump took the stage, he made his strongest point very clear.
A subject that is so important and very personal for me. Nothing means more to me than working to make our party the home of the African American vote.
With the new CNN poll out showing the race even tighter, I asked Hillary Clinton her view of the polls.
I don't pay a lot of attention to them because I just assume that you have to run scared and run hard. And when they're good, I try to ignore them. When they're bad, I try to ignore them.
Clinton asked Iowans to do their homework, citing her new book coming out today called Stronger Together, outlining her plans.
To really ask Iowans, what do you believe is best for you, your family, your jobs, your future, your community?
We are certainly no Donald Trump.
Jennifer Converse says she was surprised to see what she calls an attack ad on television by the Iowa Republican Party.
She had unpaid taxes for 5 years. Of course, we paid our taxes. You know, we pay our income taxes, we pay our property taxes.
What Converse did not do was properly withhold federal taxes, including Social Security and Medicare, for her babysitter, adding up to more than $12,000 over a 5-year period. That led to the IRS putting a lien on her property until until it was paid.
And we were trying to figure out our child care expenses, and we miscalculated, so we underpaid. And then when we learned that, we paid. And that was it.
If Jennifer thinks that it's too complicated to figure out her tax bill, then I guess she could present a bill if she was in the legislature to change that. But law's the law.
This week, taxes have been an issue with a focus on Donald Trump not paying income taxes for years.
Donald Trump followed the law. Jennifer did not. I mean, it's that simple.
An Iowa Department of Revenue spokesperson told me it is not uncommon for families to find themselves in this situation. Many people don't know they have to submit withholding to the state and federal government on behalf of a babysitter, which is a household employee.
A lot of families deal with stress over child care, and we were no different.
Comfort says at that time, 10 to 15 years ago, with 2 young children and her husband in grad school, they did their own taxes.
Do you have an accountant now? Oh yes, we definitely have an accountant now.
I will tell you who I'm not supporting, and that's Hillary Clinton.
Will you vote for Donald Trump in November?
Your support for Donald Trump? I am not.
Every other female senator is withdrawing their support.
I am not going to support Hillary Clinton.
Senator Joni Ernst did not answer questions about whether she still supports Donald Trump. She encouraged people to vote for Republican candidates in November. Governor Terry Branstad said he found Trump's remarks reprehensible.
Under no circumstances defend that kind of language from anybody.
But he still supports the Republican nominee.
I'm a team player, and I support the Republican ticket from the top to bottom. I've always done so, and I'm going to do all I can to try to support all of our candidates. And
Senator Joni Ernst released a statement that reads, quote, "The comments DJT made are lewd and insulting. There is no excuse and no room for such reprehensible and objectifying talk about anyone ever," end quote. Senator Charles Grassley also released a statement that reads, quote, "The comments were terrible and shameful, and this kind of talk about our fellow human beings shouldn't be acceptable to anyone. His apology was necessary and appropriate," end quote. People at the Reagan dinner say they didn't feel offended by Trump's remarks.
No, I didn't, because I see it all the time in the world. It's women and men both do it. We all say things that we really probably shouldn't.
And they still plan to vote for Trump in November.
He is very respectful to women. When people say that women aren't on board with Trump, they're wrong.
This is a great night. Thank you all very much.
Iowa Senator Charles Grassley.
This is pretty awesome. You're a good-looking group of folks, too.
And Congressman David Young shared a double victory Tuesday night. The freshman senator from Van Meter earned a second term from voters and thanked them and promised to keep fighting for them in Washington, D.C.
The protections of your family and security of your family, and protection from an overreaching federal government that's costing you too much will continue to be my priorities in the United States Congress.
Meanwhile, Grassley wins his 7th term in the Senate and continues to be one of the most powerful members of Congress. And he's not done yet.
They saw me launch a Senate campaign against all odds 36 years ago. And here we are, still working for the people of Iowa for those 36 years and more to come.
I think people just, we started February 1st, a long time ago, at the caucuses, and now we've kicked the tires on all the candidates. We're down to the 2. I think people are ready to make a decision.
When the polls closed at 9 p.m., James Buffum, who is legally blind, was the last to cast his ballot.
If you don't vote, then you can't, complain when the president's doing something you don't like because you haven't participated.
Coming down.
Once all the votes were in, representatives from all the precincts drove in to deliver them down this chute.
It's a great system. That way we can check everything off, and when it goes downstairs, we can sort everything immediately, which will save a lot of time tomorrow.